There might not be a lot that you know about Peruvian food. You can find a handful of restaurants in Tampa Bay, but you can also find some products at Publix. Today, I'm gonna explain you a little bit more that I know about Peruvian food. First of all, I'm Peruvian, so Peruvian food is my weakness. I brought the dish with me so you can kind of visually taste the dish that I brought. And I'm going to explain you what it's all about. I'm going to start with a little bit of the background Peruvian food. It originated thousands of years ago with pre-Columbian cultures. They grow potato, and potato in Peru is like in every major dish, you'll find some potato. It started evolving after that when the Spanish conquered Peru. They brought all the influence from European cultures, other spices that we didn't have in South America, and then it started evolving again with more migration from Italians, French, Germans. Later on, with immigration from Asian countries like Japan and China. These all create an impact on Peruvian food that it doesn't make it as usual as any other Spanish food. There are very similarities like with Colombian food, with Chilean food, but they vary from region to region. Today, the dish that I brought is called ají de gallina. This dish will explain a little bit more on how to understand Peruvian food. First of all, the potato. That is a must-have in the Peruvian food. There are about 2,000 kind of potatoes that will vary in taste. You will find in different dishes. This is shredded chicken with sort of sauce that contains milk, Parmesan cheese, chicken broth, um, some other nuts. Um, that is an African influence. The Africans, when they came to Peru as a slave, they had to eat just the leftovers from the Spanish. So they took pieces of chicken that their owners left, and they created a dish, which was this. They, because they didn't have too much meat, they put like bread to complement it. So they came with this. With the potato, it was filling enough for them. Later came the influence of the Asians. We never used to get rice in our dishes until the Asians start bringing, introducing more rice, and Peruvian cuisine started evolving even more. Then you see the egg. The egg is something like Spanish that developed with a little bit more like a Spanish taste. Then the actual structure of the sauce is just an evolution from the French that started trying new nuts, milk, and stuff, because originally this was done with cold bread from previous days and with water. Now we have milk and a little bit other ingredients. Also, these have ají, which will be chili in English, and it's a spice that could give a really great flavor, but sometimes it's spicy, you can make it non-spicy too. That shows you the kind of influence you can find on every dish. It's not uncommon these days to find different kind of influence. I also would like to talk about how all this influence play out in Peruvian food. At the beginning, the Incas that were an empire, they had a great variety of weather to choose, and they basically handle almost the whole South America region, the most habitable region. Um, they have to different weathers that they could get different fruits, different vegetables. So they create different dishes. Once the Spanish came, they start mixing up ingredients, creating new stuff. Then they came the French and the Italians. The French, they add a lot of technique to the Peruvian food. They developed the Peruvian food into another level. Finally, it came the Germans when they put technicality in some and sophistication in some stuff. And after the Chinese-Japanese war, a lot of Japanese and Chinese came to Peru, and they just introduced new flavors, new spices, and here you go. Enjoy.